I asked ChatGPT to act as a chess grandmaster and to give me play-by-play best moves during a chess match. This is what it says. I'm sorry, but as a language model, I'm not able to play chess. However, I can give you a list of the next best moves and the reasons why they are good. Here's an example of the first few moves of a chess game with explanations as to why they are good choices. And then it goes on to tell me why things are good choices. But let's play through this game, and we're going to play against Gotham Chess, the one and only. So he currently has a 2500 rating, or his bot does. I'm not sure what Levy is currently sitting at, but we're going to choose Levy. And we're gonna play a challenge mode, so we're not gonna get any help from chess.com. Let's say I go e4, so I'll move e4. Levy goes e5. I'm gonna tell ChatGPT that I went e4, black went e5. What is the next best move? ChatGPT is gonna give me bullet points on the possible next best moves and why. It's currently saying knight to f3. So knight f3 would be knight f3. This move is a good choice because it develops a piece, attacks black's pawn on e5, and prepares for d4, which can further control the center. Okay, let's do it. I went knight f3, black went knight c6. d4 is a move, strong central pawn push, which opens lines for pieces, and it's also attacking the e5 pawn, which is now isolated. This move is a good choice because it opens the lines for the pieces, attacks black's isolated pawn. Okay, so d4 will go there. Now, Levy takes it. Black went ex d4. What is the next best move? Knight taking d4. This move captures the pawn on d4. It's a good move because it develops a piece, opens a diagonal for the bishop, and the pawn on d4 can be protected by the knight. So it's suggesting that I go knight to d4, which would be there. I open up a risk for Levy to go knight to d4, taking my knight, but then my queen can go there. So, and it opens up the diagonal. So, okay, let's do it. We'll take our knight and we'll go to d4. I went knight x d4, black went knight f6. Knight to c3. So this move develops the knight and attacks the f6 pawn, preparing to castle. It also attacks the d5 square, putting pressure on the black pawn. This move is good because it develops a piece, attacks the pawn, blah, blah, blah. Also, it's preparing to castle, which will complete the development on the king side and prepare for the endgame. So it's suggesting knight to c3, which would be there. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So we'll go knight to c3. All right, so he goes bishop b4. Black went b4. Actually, let me tell him. I went knight c3. Black went b4. Bishop b4. Bishop to d3. So it's suggesting bishop to what? To d3? Can I do that? Oh yeah, I can. There we go. Bishop d3. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong bishop. This move is a good choice because it develops the bishop and attacks the b4 pawn. The b4 pawn? There's no pawn on b4. Why does it think there's no pawn on here? But okay, let's do it anyways. Let's see what it suggests. All right. I went bishop d3. Black went knight x d4. It's suggesting that I castle. Castling short. This is a good move because it develops the king, puts it in a safe place. Okay. So it's suggesting we castle. So we'll do that. And after I castled, Levy pushed his bishop up and took my knight. Interesting. I went Black went bishop x c3. What's the next best move here? Queen to e2. So one of these is a good move because it attacks the c3 pawn. C3 pawn. There is no pawn on c3. Why does it think there's a pawn on c3? There is no pawn on c3. Is QE2 still the best move? I wonder if it can... I apologize for the confusion. It seems that my previous response was incorrect. Queen e2 is not a good move in this situation because it does not attack any pawn and does not have any specific purpose. That's what I'm saying. Queen to c3 is a better move because it captures the pawn and there is no pawn on c3. Bishop xc3 is also a good move because it captures the pawn. There is no pawn on c3. There is no pawn on c3. How can I tell it? How can I copy and paste all of the moves? There is a bishop on c3. My apologies for the confusion. I misunderstood your previous statement. Queen e2 is not a good move because it does not have any specific purpose. Queen on e5 is a good move. Queen to e... How am I supposed to get there? You psycho. How can I reset this real quick? White went e4, black e5.
White, knight f3, black, knight c6, white, d4, black, ex d4, white, knight xd4, black, knight f6, white, knight c3, black, bishop d4, black, bishop d4, white, bishop d3, black, knight xd4, white, castles, black, bishop xc3.
What is the next best move? Let's see if I can interpret that. White's next best move will likely be queen e2. This move develops the queen, protects the pawn on d4, and prepares to castle. I already castled. It also is a good idea to keep in mind that the chess is a strategic game. You should have a plan or strategy in mind. While it's important to keep developing your pieces and control the center of the board, keep your king safe, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you know what? Let's just do knight e2. Let's just do that. White went queen e2. Black went knight x e2 plus. Now what? White's next best move is to play knight f1. This move is known as the king's retreat. It's a good move because it keeps the king safe and develops the king. What do you want me to do? King f1. But the rook is there. I can't move king to f1. The rook is in f1. I apologize for the confusion. If the rook is at f1, knight's best move would be to play rook f1. But the rook is in f1. If the rook is already on f1, white's next best move would be to play rook to f3. This isn't working, boys. We can't do rook to f3. There's a pawn in the way. It's like I have to teach it how to play chess. I can't move rook to f3. There is a pawn in the way. I'm currently checked by knight e2. My only move, now I have two moves. I have two moves available. Bishop to e2 or king to h1, which is better? I would assume to take the knight. If pawn is blocking the rook to move to f3, you're currently checked by knight e2. The best way to move would be knight to h1. It's known as the king's retreat. It's a good move because it keeps the king safe and develops the king. That's not necessarily true. This move is a good choice because it keeps the king safe and develops the king. It also prepares for the next move. be2 would also be a good move. It helps develop the bishop, protects the king, but puts pressure on black pawn e2. Oh, it is just completely confused at this point. So what I'm going to do is... Here, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to take the bishop. I'm going to take the knight, okay? And then Levy is going to move back to e5 with his knight, with his bishop. How can I train ChatGPT to understand this board? It should know. I told it all of the moves. Here are all of the moves that have been made so far in this game of chess. All right, so this very clearly tells it what we did. White, queen, e2, black, knight, x e2 plus, bishop, white, don't know how much clearer I can be. Bishop x e2. Black, bishop e5. It is white's turn. What is the next best move? Come on. You know where all of the pieces are. You should be able to do this. Here are all of the moves that have been made so far in this game. Why are you telling me what I told you? It is white's turn, and the next best move would likely be d5. With what? With a pawn? That's not possible. This move is a strong central pawn. I don't have anything on d5. And I can't just randomly just hop over to d5. Which pawn should I move to d5? I apologize for the confusion. You should move the pawn on d4 to d5. Okay, just stop right there. There is no pawn on d5, on d4, to move to d5. How do you not understand this? I apologize for the confusion. It seems that the pawn on d4 had been captured by black. Therefore, it is not possible to move it to d5. In this case, there are a few options to consider. Developing the pieces. Oh, now it's saying, here's how you play chess. Good luck, figure it out. Let's develop a piece. Now, I don't want to move that either. Okay, let's just do this. Okay, we're just going to do that, see what happens. White went g5, bishop g5. Black went h6. What is the next best move? White's next best move would likely to be bishop on h4. This move is good because it helps develop the bishop and attacks the h6 pawn. h4? Why would I do that? Along with preparing to castle, I've already castled. It's important to keep in mind that this is killing me. I'm just going to do it anyways. White went bishop h4. Black went d5. What is the next best move? Considering these are all of the moves that have happened so far in this game. And then I'm going to tell it which moves have been made. All right, bishop e5, white, bishop g5, black h6, white bishop h4, black d5. All right, so you literally have everything you need to know. White's next best move, considering all of the moves that have happened so far in this game, would likely to be c, take d5. How? All right, you know what? So I think what we've learned here is that at some point in this prompt, at some point in this game, as we were developing, it must have lost either memory, it forgot what moves we played, or we need to constantly tell it which moves have been made, or our formatting is wrong. Maybe we can ask it, what is the best way for me to tell you the moves on a chessboard? How can you help me determine which is the next best move? Tell me, you help me, help you, help me. The best way to tell me the moves in a chess game is to list them out in the format white move, black move, as you've been doing. It's important to include all of the moves that have been played so far in the game so I can have a full context and understanding of the current position of the pieces on the board. To determine the next best move, I use the chess knowledge I've been trained on, which includes chess openings, endgames, and tactics. I also take into account the position of the pieces on the board, the pawn structure, and the development of the pieces, and evaluate the potential threats and weaknesses. It's also important to keep in mind that chess is a strategic game and you should have a plan or strategy keep in mind while you're playing. It's important to develop pieces, blah, blah, blah. Please let me know if there's any other questions or if there's anything else I can help with. Okay, so I think we're going to make this a two-part series here. I'm going to keep working on this. We'll see if ChatGPT can beat Gotham Chess at chess. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see what happens next. With that, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.